Hello and welcome. My name is Scott Russell and I'd like to use this video to show you the basic steps to create a LabVIEW virtual instrument. Of course, LabVIEW is an application we use for data acquisition, and any code or program that we create with this application is typically called a VI, or a virtual instrument. As soon as you begin, you start with a new programming screen, and we have two working environments. One is called the front panel. It's here on the left. It looks sort of like a piece of graph paper. This is where we'll put our controls and indicators and other types of human software interfaces. Over here on the right, we have a block diagram. This looks like a blank sheet of paper. This is where the bulk of our code for the VI will be placed. Right now, the two working environments, they look a little lopsided, so I'd like to go ahead and tile them so they're side by side. On the keyboard, I'm just going to press Control T or Control Tango, and as you can see, now I have a couple of tiled work environments. I'm going to begin. What I'd like to do for this project is just to create a little multiplier, a little calculator. I'd like to have two inputs. I'd like to multiply them and then get an output. And I'll walk us through some of the basic steps to do that. If I go over to the front panel, I'll do a right mouse click, and my controls palette will come up. On the controls palette, I have the numeric menu. On the numeric menu, you can see I get a variety of selections. What I'd like to do is to use the numeric control. I'll go ahead and place that on the front panel. Note, as soon as I place this on the front panel, I also get an icon that pops up on the block diagram. This is a programming node, and this will be basically taking the input that I type in to this numeric input and then using it as part of the code. I'd like to, on the front panel, to change the name of this input. I'm just going to call it input number 1. And then within this window, I can go ahead and just change the values as I see fit. I can put in variables for my calculation. Next, I'd like to set up that second input I had mentioned, so I'll just follow those steps again. Again, I'll do a right mouse click. I'll go to the controls palette. On the controls palette, I find the numeric menu, and on the numeric menu, I go ahead and select numeric control. I place that on the front panel. Again, as you can see, I now have an input node that appears on the block diagram. And I'll go ahead and change this name. I'll just call this input number 2, just to keep it consistent. So now I have these two inputs. I'd like to, of course, do a calculation, a multiplication. So I'm going to need something to hold whatever output is created. On the front panel, I'll do a right mouse click, go to the controls palette, and then on the numeric menu, I'm going to go ahead and select this thing called numeric indicator. And I'll just go ahead and drop that onto the front panel. And I'll type in output. I see that now I have all these nodes that have appeared on the block diagram. I have to connect them up now. And again, I'd like to run a multiplication function. So I'm going to go over here to the block diagram. I'll do a right mouse click. And on the numeric menu, I have all these mathematical functions that come up. I'm going to select multiply. I'll place multiply on the block diagram. And then in LabVIEW, when I write code, I basically, because it's a graphical programming language, I'll go ahead and connect everything up. I'll just connect up input number 1 to the multiplication node, input number 2 to the multiplication node, and then that product is going to be read by output. I'll go ahead and run my VI. 3 times 0 is, of course, 0. Let me try that again. I'll put in a 5. I'll put in a 2. I'll go ahead and run that again. And now I have 10. So these are the basic steps to create a very simple VI. And we'll cover more about LabVIEW and creating VIs in future videos. Thank you.